Welcome to my kitchen. Hey you guys, so I've been asked to make these recipes and post them for you so many times, and I'm finally doing that. We're going to be making Pollo al Caldero, which is something I made a few days ago, and a lot of you guys were interested in the recipe. So I'm going to show you how I make the chicken. Okay, so what we have here is a traditional caldero, and this is where we're going to be making our chicken in. It is not so pretty because I use it all the time. I already pre-marinated this chicken. I have some chicken thighs in here. In the marinade, we have a little bit of garlic, oregano, Dominican oregano. We have a little bit of pepper, red and green, and just salt. Since it has been marinating, it's going to be even more flavorful. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my stove onto medium heat. And step one is going to be to add 2 tablespoons of canola oil onto your caldero. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of sugar. This is what's gonna give the chicken a beautiful golden color. After you add the sugar, you want to leave your heat onto medium and just make sure that the sugar doesn't burn, because what's gonna happen if the sugar gets too dark is that it's going to make the chicken bitter. So you want it to get a nice, beautiful golden color, just not too dark. Then I'm gonna take a pair of tongs and throw the chicken right in there. So that's the color you want. I honestly wish you guys could smell my kitchen right now. It smells like grandma's house. The chicken is going to be ready to flip. Once you start hearing the chicken crisp up, and it's a very specific sound. So you see right now, you see all those bubbles? That's all liquid from the chicken coming out. You don't want to flip the chicken until you know that it's getting a beautiful color. So I highly recommend you guys not touching it. I know it's really difficult not to move it around, but just leave it as is. You want it to get a beautiful golden color on the bottom side. Okay, so you probably can tell that the sound changed, and that is very important. This is a very crucial moment right here, because this is the moment where you're gonna wanna flip it. If you wait any longer, it's going to burn. Look at that gorgeous color. Okay, so the chicken is halfway done. I just flipped it. And what I'm going to be doing now is add a little bit of salt and pepper. I like to do this in steps. So in the very beginning of the marinade, I add a little bit of salt and pepper. And then in the middle of the cooking, I add a little bit more. And at the end as well if it needs it. I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of salt, just a nice sprinkle. And a little pepper. So what I'm doing right now is just moving it around to make sure nothing is burning at the bottom. And our heat is still at medium. So what I'm going to do now is pull out the chicken and let it rest over here. It is not completed yet. Then we're going to go ahead and add all of the chicken back in our pot. And allow all of those juices to go back in the pot. You don't want to miss any of that goodness. So after your chicken is all back in the pot, we're going to go ahead and close it with a secured lid, and we're going to let it cook for about 7 minutes. I went ahead and I put a 3-quart pot of water to boil. I'm going to be adding some spaghetti, and then I'm going to throw the spaghetti in the chicken and mix it all up. So while we wait for our chicken to be done, I want to show you something that I just learned. My daughter just taught me that one of these spoons right here will tell you what each serving should be. Apparently, if you jam-pack a few spaghetti strings right in here, you will know that this is a serving. So that's kind of like a really cool way to know how much pasta to add into your water. I can't measure if my life depended on it, so I'm just gonna take a handful of spaghetti and see if that works. If it doesn't, then I'll just add more. I mean, come on. So one trick that Amberelle actually taught me was that you want your salted water to be incredibly salted. Like you want it to taste like the ocean. That's what's going to flavor our spaghetti. And I'm going to add it right in there. I like to push them in to make sure that everything is basically swimming in the water. I do it lightly so they don't break. If your chicken is getting a little stuck at the bottom, you can go ahead and add a little bit of water and stir it up. After you add your water, you want to go ahead and stir it so it can get a nice, beautiful, dark color. This is that appetizing color that everybody wants to achieve, that the minute you see it, you know it's good. Add a little bit more salt. So I am just adding a little bit of tomato paste right in there to give it a little more sweetness and a bit more color. Okay, so the next and final step is to add our spaghetti into our chicken. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the spaghetti with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. A little bit of